Caitlin Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out, trying to get this shoe.
Nike just made one of the most embarrassing corporate missteps in recent memory, and A'ja Wilson is not happy. After heavily investing in promoting Wilson's brand, all while Caitlin Clark was consistently dominating social media with even the smallest moves, Nike finally realized they might have backed the wrong narrative.
Nike finally delivers Caitlin Clark PE. Is this the first Caitlin Clark exclusive Nike commercial since she's entered the WNBA? I know she's made a cameo here, she's made a cameo there, she was featured as part of this rollout here, featured as part of this rollout there, but is this our first official Caitlin Clark solo commercial?
Nike spent years betting on the wrong superstar, and now reality has hit them hard. As they shift focus toward the athlete who's actually driving sales, A'ja Wilson's reaction feels nothing short of theatrical. But this isn't just about sneakers, it's a major corporate wake-up call. Nike has essentially admitted they backed the wrong face. While Caitlin Clark's presence alone keeps crashing their website again and again due to overwhelming traffic.
Caitlin, and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now have a chance to wear.
Absolutely. Let's talk real numbers, because numbers don't lie. A'ja Wilson's shoes launched with plenty of hype, but reports suggest there's still a significant amount sitting on shelves, likely headed for the clearance rack soon. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark steps in without even having her own signature. Line teams up for a Kobe collaboration, and 13,000 pairs sell out in just 1 minute. Not 5, not 10, exactly 60 seconds. That wasn't a product launch, it was a full-blown shopping frenzy.
Oh, I don't think I'd be wrong to say Caitlin Clark's Kobe is the sneaker of the week, and everyone's focus is mostly on this one. If you really wanted that shoe, I hope you put your footwork in, because there's supposedly only 13,000 pairs of sneakers out tomorrow. Combine that with a really high resale value, I expect this shoe to be a relatively difficult comp. But my hope seriously is that with Caitlin Clark's sneaker coming out, that this sets a precedent and we might see other exclusive player edition Kobe's drop for the public.
The Nike website didn't just slow down. It practically waved a white flag and surrender. Within minutes, secondary markets exploded, with resale prices jumping from $350 to as high as $600. Whenever Caitlin Clark gear drops, it's like Black Friday on overdrive. Meanwhile, Wilson's line is quietly collecting dust, inching its way toward the clearance rack with little fanfare.
These things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here, and no, I don't want to pay $600.
Now, here's where it really gets interesting. Nike spent 2 full years carefully crafting A'ja Wilson's sneaker line, giving it the royal treatment from top to bottom. She was given full creative control, from custom logos and hand-picked designs to deeply personal details. Celtic symbols to honor her parents. Her grandmother's favorite sayings etched into the sole. Everything was tailored with meaning. It felt less like a basketball shoe and more like a wearable family scrapbook.
I lost all respect for A'ja Wilson. I don't want to hear her opinions. I don't care what she has to say from this point on. When you keep a Nike deal 2 years in secret while you're spewing all that crazy stuff about Caitlin Clark in the Time magazine, read it. Read what she said in the Time magazine, yet you had a Nike deal the whole entire time?
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still wearing repurposed Cobes, no personal logo, no signature line, nothing custom. And yet, those shoes are outselling Wilson's carefully crafted sneakers by margins that are almost comical. Nike handed Wilson every tool in the box, every creative advantage. But somehow, Clark's basic hand-me-downs are breaking the internet. Without even trying. It's almost tragic. Almost.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now Kobe, respect to Kobe, the legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player. dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlyn should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her.
Caitlin Clark's Nike sneakers are finally dropping. She signed with them last year, so the release feels a bit late. Still, I'm excited. What bothers me a little is that it's a collaboration, with Kobe, much respect to him, a true legend. But honestly, Caitlyn is a big enough star to have her own legacy. Her first shoe should have been original, not tied to another player's name.
And all this was done while the shoe's being developed, while the collection's being done. To demonize Caitlyn Clark and try to label her as a privileged white girl that's getting all the privileges, even though she earned everything she got. This ain't about color. This is about good and bad. And I find this a little evil. I find this evil. This is beyond bad, because you had the ability to speak up and say, hey, everybody, relax. Don't get on Caitlyn Clark. She got a shoe deal. That's cool. I got one too. Mine's taking a little bit, but it's going to come out. Just be patient. She could have came out and said that, but she didn't.
The best part. Nike went all in, trying to make A'ja Wilson their breakout star. They gave her a $20 plus million extension, built entire ad campaigns around her diamond in the rough image, and pushed her story like a telemarketer on overdrive. But here's the thing. You can't manufacture what Caitlyn Clark naturally brings. Clark signed her own $28 million deal and instantly became Nike's most influential female brand, without the company needing to lift an extra marketing finger. Every time she steps on the court in Nike gear, it feels like a multi-million-dollar ad. No scripts, no stylists, no fancy production. Wilson's brand needs the works. Clark just needs a ball and a hoop, and she's printing money.
Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlyn Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye, but when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe.
Now let's get into the hard business truth, because this is where A'ja Wilson's narrative starts to fall apart. Caitlyn Clark single-handedly generated an estimated $82 million in economic impact for the state of Iowa. That's right, $82 million. All from a 23-year-old from West Des Moines, who shattered NCAA records and rewrote history. Her impact isn't just athletic, it's cultural, a force of nature. And while that was happening, Nike's decision-makers somehow overlooked what many are calling the female version of Michael Jordan, choosing instead to push a different story with Wilson. The signs were clear from the beginning, flashing in neon, but Nike seemed more focused on checking boxes than recognizing the undeniable star power right in front of them.
Bouncing penny shot it. Plays it in on a delectable dime for Caitlyn Clark.
Even former Nike basketball marketing head Jordan Rodgers publicly called out his old company, essentially saying, "Congrats, you just let your golden goose nearly slip away." While Nike was busy pushing a brand story fans weren't buying, their stock dropped to a 5-year low. Instead of riding the real wave, Caitlyn Clark's unstoppable momentum, they were busy trying to manufacture hype around Wilson, as if she were Gretchen Wieners trying to make fetch happen. Spoiler alert, it didn't.
Your stock price since 2021, it is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlyn Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you've been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. We never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature. You finally put her in a Super Bowl campaign with 9 other women, and all respect to them, but none of them are moving the needle quite like she is. Your tagline in that was "You can't win, so win." One of the best explanations I can come up with is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to enter into this politically divisive conversation that has been co-opted by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all kinds of ridiculous things around women's basketball. You can't win, so win. You have the unicorn, the chosen one, the one who everyone wants to hear from, and you were just sitting around Gatorade, State Farm, Gamebridge, Wilson Basketball, have all figured out how to have a point of view with Caitlin Clark. Please, for the love of God, figure something.
I find it's very deplorable to me. I find it's very deplorable that you allow Caitlin Clark to get crapped on that whole entire time and even speak up. And on top of that, Nike's a bunch of a-holes too, because they didn't speak up and defend Caitlin Clark or speak up and say, hey, we got A'ja's shoe coming. We got A'ja's shoe coming. Just got to be patient. Caitlin Clark's going to get hers too. I don't understand the tactics here. All you're causing controversy that didn't have to be there. You're calling division where it didn't have to be there. You're calling racial issues where it didn't have to be there.
It felt like across the board, this commercial was a 10 for 10. And a lot of people have been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlin as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlin more. And then obviously with this shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it. And of course, just today, Caitlin Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out trying to get the shoe. Heard that Nike stocked about 14,000 of these, and that is an unconfirmed report, but they sold out in less than a minute. If that's any indication of what a Caitlin Clark signature shoe will do, I think Nike better continue to get on it and get ready to launch this brand